I feel like it looks like I'm filming this video on the same day I filmed my last video, but I'm not. Okay? It's been a couple weeks. I decided to film a January TBR wrap up. This should be the last video that you see in January. However, you know, sometimes I feel a little spontaneous and I like adding another video or two. So I don't know. Maybe you'll see some more. Now let's talk about the book that I gave 5 stars in this month, A God Tier book. That is The Last Olympian, which is the last series in the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. And like I just said, I gave it a 5 stars. There's nothing to say about this book. This book made me cry way too much, which is actually the review I literally said something like, this book made me cry way too much, because it actually did. Like, why could I not stop uncontrollably sobbing? I don't know. Actually, I do know. This book had a couple of deaths that really hit me, and I just loved everything about this book. I'm so glad that Percy and Annabeth are finally together after 5 books. I'm gonna miss these characters, even though I know like some of them are in the new series. I'm still gonna miss them, just because it feels like, I don't know, it feels like I'm losing a family. Like, I think I get way too attached to books. I want to read my review, and I'm going to start doing this at the end of oh my gosh, words. I'm going to start doing this at the end of every month and reading my reviews. If you want to see my reviews when I post them, you can follow me on Fable, and you can see all my reviews and what I'm reading. And if you're interested in that, go ahead and do that. Anyways, I literally said I've cried way too much while reading this book, and then I said edit. I gave this book a 5 stars because I can't stop thinking about it, or something like that, guys. I don't know. I don't have a script. I'm doing this off my noggin, and everything I said in that review was true. At first, I gave this book a 4-star, but after like thinking about it for multiple days after reading it, I was like, this book is not a 4-star book, because if I read it a couple like days ago and I'm still thinking about it, like, that's pretty powerful. Yeah, Percy Jackson Last Olympian by Rick Riordan. If you ever read the series, I highly recommend you check it out. Okay, so the next book I read, or the second book I read this month, is Anne of Green Gables by Ella Montgomery, and I give this book a 4 stars. This book was my first classic that I ever read on my own, like without any school or the school curriculum or whatever. I did it out of my own will. What the freak? Oh, that was a book that just fell. That scared me. Anyways, that was a scroll. Let me start over. Anyways, I read this book out of my own will. It was a classic book. It was my first time experiencing it, and I love this book. I watched a show which is called Anne with an E, and I watched it, and I really did enjoy it. And so I thought I thought the book was going to be like the show, but obviously you have to take into account, you know, like the topics that they addressed in the show is obviously not going to be addressed in the books that was written in the 1900s, because these topics are hush-hush. Some people don't even know what they are, like women's rights. Nobody's going to be talking about that in the early 1900s, when women weren't even allowed to vote until way later. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm getting off topic again. I love this book. I love Anne. I love her imagination. I love how Ella Montgomery develops characters. I love Gilbert in this book. I love Anne and Gilbert together. They're so cute. The only thing that I have to say to like complain about this book is that I felt that some parts of the book were boring, which is honestly probably a me thing. Like, this is a classic, and these books were meant for people who had an ounce of an attention span. I don't have an attention span. I think you guys can tell by the amount of times I've been scrolling in this video. And so I still gave it a 4 stars, and my review was Kindred Spirit Forever. If you want a good classic recommendation and you want to try to get into a like classic book, I do recommend the only classic book I read on my own, which is Anne of Green Gables, because I truly do think that it would be a great start to try and get into like the classic ways or the classic genre. And then the last book I read is actually on this little mini cubby shelf. And that was Six of Crows by Leah Bardugo. Now, you might be wondering, Carrie, wouldn't you put this book on your bookshelf, which, by the way, is over there? Yeah, I mean, I would. I really would. But I put this book and I decided to make these cubby shelves my God tier books. So, for example, I have the Hunger Games series. I have the Cruel Prince trilogy and the Queen Nothing displayed because that was my favorite out of them. And then Six of Crows because this book was incredible. This book is, I put it on Fable as a 5-star because you can't give 6 stars, unfortunately. But this book is an infinity stars, a million stars, quadruple stars. Like, I have no words. Like, I literally have no words. Wow, that's like how this book did it. Like, this was my first ever heist book before, and I was a little nervous because I've never read heist books. Like, you know, anyways, I've never read heist books, and I don't know if I like them. What if I don't like this book just because it has a heist in it? No, Leah Bardugo carried. I did read the Shadow and Bone trilogy first, which I do recommend if you want to read this book because you might be a little bit confused. If you just jump straight into Six of Crows, you might be like, well, what's a Grisha? Like, you might be a little confused, and I think you need to start with Shadow and Bone trilogy, which is a good trilogy, but nothing tops this book. Characters, the character dynamics, the plot twist at the end of this book, my head was like, ooh, 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 ooh. Edge, Nina, Matthias, Wylan, Casbrecker, Jesper. Like, no words. I love all the characters. I think if I had to choose though, Edge would probably be my favorite, or Nina. Honestly, it like low-key depends. And then the romance, all the romances were done so well. This book is just, man, oh man, it's so incredible. And one thing I have to say is Casbrecker has officially been added to the book boyfriend list. If you're wondering, I did find him hot. I see what all you book talk girlies are talking about now. And yeah, 5-star, 6-star, 6-star I mean. And I'm pretty sure I said, actually, I don't remember what I said. Hold on, let me look. Hi, it's Future Carrie, and this is what I said. Screaming, crying, throwing up. What the F was that ending? 6-star God tier book. Read if you haven't.